Hey, how's it going? This is Scott from the White Boy Chinese podcast, where I teach you elementary Chinese like a normal person, not a robot. Alright, welcome to my daily podcast where Monday through Friday I have minisodes on how to learn elementary Mandarin Chinese. If you don't know already, I'm the guy with a learning disability, or supposedly, I was probably just really lazy or something in elementary school. But anyway, I'm going to share my kind of quick and easy method to learn Chinese. Long story short, I just teach the basics first. So the stuff that you need to get around town. Not, I'm from this country, what language do you speak? What's the point of saying, I'm from the United States of America, if you cannot say, I would like to go to the bathroom? I think the bathroom one is a bit more important. And of course, if you stick around to the end of this episode, I will share with you my secret to learning tones and Chinese pronunciation. So for the next segment of the show, I'm going to ask you to please leave a 5-star review. If you do this, it'll help us climb to the top of iTunes or Stitcher or whatever platform you're using. By doing so, you'll help spread the word about the podcast, and you'll be doing me a huge favor. And if you choose to do so and leave a 5-star review, I'll definitely read your review on the air. So I'm pretty excited. This is episode 3. I really hope everything works out well. If you want some more free materials, definitely check out my website, which is whiteboychinese.wordpress.com. Okay, so let's go ahead and review what we learned the last time. The last time we learned about this particle thing you add at the end of your sentence. By adding this at the end of your sentence, it'll change your sentence into a question. It's almost like when you write in English and you add a question mark at the end of your sentence. If that question mark wasn't there, it would be kind of weird and not clear that you're asking a question. But in Chinese, rather Mandarin Chinese, this is actually spoken. And this is ma. So we already know how to say yao, which means to want or to need. So if I say yao ma, it means do you want it? And if I want to be even more clear, we also learn how to say you, which is ni, the third tone, ni. It descends and reascends upward, ni yao ma. It's a little bit more of a clearer way of saying, do you want it? And in turn, we can respond by saying yao or bu yao. If I ask you, ni yao ma, and you say yao, it means that you do want whatever it is that I'm offering you. But if you say bu yao, it means that you do not want it, because you're taking the same verb that I asked you and put it in the negative form. If you leave it in the positive form, it's the same way as saying yes. In Chinese, you really can't say yes. You can say correct, but this is just how everyone speaks. Alright, let's move on to the lesson today. Today, we're going to learn how to say this. So this is incredibly helpful. We're going to use the words that you already know how to say to express, I want this. So let's say you're stuck in a restaurant or a hospital or whatever. You can crack open your dictionary, point to the Chinese words and say, I want this. So to start out, we're going to learn how to say me or myself. In Chinese, you cannot say I or, well, you can. It's just the same word. I or myself or me. I guess in spoken language, they only have one word for it, which is 我, W-O. 我. It's the third tone. 我. You could say 我要, which means I want it. 我要. So if I ask you 你要吗? You could say 我要, or simply say 要. But let's get back on track. So you have the dictionary in your hand, you're pointing at it, you can say 我要这个. It sounds like the letter J. 这个 means this. 这个 我要这个 I want this. 我要这个. So that's an extremely helpful phrase. So if you can see what I did here, I built you up to learn how to say I want this. I did not simply throw 500 phrases at you and expect you to memorize them. You know what every single word means in this little compact phrase. It's incredibly helpful, especially if you want to go shopping or need something desperately, or need to go somewhere. You can simply crack open your dictionary, point to it, and say, 我要这个. I want this. Alright, so let's finish up the show with my tip, how I learned, how I got really good at pronunciation and tones. What I did was, when I was in China, and if you happen to be in China, you can do this. Yeah, so what you do is, or maybe you can just go to a local Chinatown bookstore or whatever. They have this book that's similar to, I guess, how in English, at least in the United States, you're supposed to have some sort of Midwestern accent. If you're a news reporter, they have something pretty similar in China. So I just bought the book to study for that test. I more than likely cannot, pass the test, but it did a lot for my pronunciation. If you want more details, make sure to check out my website, which at the moment, I went with the Frio. It's the whiteboychinese.wordpress.com. So whiteboychinese.wordpress.com. When you get there, you'll see a big blue box. It says, click on this blue box to get on my mailing list. And once you're on your mailing list, you can have direct contact with me via email or whatever. I'll see you next time.